This book introduces Slappy the Dummy, who will become the main villain of the Goosebumps series. I never read Goosebumps as a kid, but I still knew who Slappy was. I'm not surprised to learn Slappy is even more terrifying than I imagined.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
Kris and Lindy Powell are 12-year-old twins. They fight constantly. When they explore the construction site next door, a blue alien named Prince Elfangor tells them, Wait, I'm thinking of a different 1990s book series. At the construction site, they find a ventriloquist dummy. Lindy names him Slappy and uses him to insult Kris a few times. The neighborhood kids are so entranced by Slappy, Lindy decides to keep him permanently. She even gets a job. She's paid $20 to perform with Slappy at a birthday party. Personally, I would pay $20 to keep Slappy away from my birthday. Kris is so jealous, she asks her parents for her own dummy. Lindy calls her a copycat, which is true. Slappy insults her and slaps her face. Mom and Dad force Lindy to apologize. Kris wakes up in the middle of the night several times in this book. She worries Slappy is watching her sleep. He grabs her wrist, and it's a fake-out scare prank. Lindy's the one who grabbed her. The next day, Dad gets Kris a red-headed dummy. She names it Mr. Wood, and he tells knock-on-wood jokes. That's about as creative as Kris ever gets, so it's no big surprise she struggles with her act. She loses Mr. Wood one morning, only to find him wearing her fancy party dress. Lindy swears she didn't do it. The girls rehearse together. When Lindy holds Mr. Wood, he growls at Kris, calling her a stupid jerk over and over. Again, Lindy swears she's not doing it, and she is so scared, I believe her. The next time the girls go to their room, they see Mr. Wood strangling Slappy. They try to tell Mom, but she doesn't believe them. And the next time the dummies move, they've got their arms around each other like they're best friends. Kris gets a job at a school concert while Lindy's invited to be on TV. When Kris wakes up in the middle of the night, she discovers Mr. Wood has destroyed the kitchen. He took everything out of the fridge and dumped it on the floor. Mom is so furious, she threatens to get rid of the dummies for good. Yes, please do, Mom, that would be great. The girls clean up the mess, and Mr. Wood starts screaming when they put him in the closet. That's when Lindy confesses the entire book has been a fake-out scare prank. She did everything just to trick Kris into believing Mr. Wood is alive. Lindy is the worst sister ever, and I'm amazed at how much effort and dedication she put into this prank. The next day, Kris discovers a paper in Mr. Wood's pocket. She reads the words on the paper, not realizing it's a magic spell that brings Mr. Wood to life. For real this time. Mom and Dad force the girls to perform for the neighbors. Mr. Wood insults them rudely. Kris is stunned because she didn't say those things. Lindy gets mad and accuses Kris of copycatting her living dummy prank. At the school concert, Mr. Wood is vicious when insulting an overweight teacher. He vomits pea soup over the entire audience. That should prove Kris isn't faking, because he spit out more soup than his entire body can hold. But still, no one believes her. That night, Mr. Wood starts walking and talking in front of Kris and Lindy. Now she believes her sister. They wrestle, and he is surprisingly strong for a dummy. Plus, he's a dirty fighter. He bites a lot. Ouch. When their parents show up, though, Mr. Wood turns limp. The parents worry their daughters are going crazy. Mr. Wood says he's in charge now, and they are his slaves. The girls try to rip his head off, but it doesn't work. He laughs at their pitiful attempts and threatens to hurt the ones they love. They lock him in a suitcase and bury him in the construction site, but the next morning, he's waiting for them at the breakfast table. Mr. Wood starts choking their dog to death to punish them for being bad slaves. This was the best scare of the book. It was terrifying. Fortunately, they save the dog and throw Mr. Wood under a steamroller at the construction site. He is dead forever. But then Slappy comes to life. The end. Post-book follow-up. This book is super violent for the Goosebumps series. Compared to the other books so far, it is Violent City. There are several fight scenes. The other books usually have one fight scene at the very end. Granted, Mr. Wood is a dummy who's not that tall, so the fights are a little one-sided, but they're still pretty intense. Mr. Wood doesn't come to life until halfway through the book, which is an interesting decision. The first half is a fake about him being alive. The second half is him being alive for real. The difference between the two halves is stark. I like how Lindy immediately takes Kris's side against Mr. Wood. The sisters have been fighting all the book, but the situation is so serious, their sibling rivalry is instantly forgotten. Overall, this is a great Goosebumps book. I can see why Slappy became the main Goosebumps villain, even if it's technically Mr. Wood who's the bad guy in this book. I give Goosebumps number 7, Night of the Living Dummy, 10 dummies out of 10.